I'm trying to connect to my womb, and I don't feel anything there. It's just numb. Nothingness, like empty somehow. And it's confusing. I'm so tired, and I get a sense that these hormones are in my body and my belly is growing. And yet I cannot connect to anything there. And my intuition is just kind of giving me a signal like something's off. And I really would like to know the reality of it. I really want to know. I really want to see that ultrasound, and just so that I can actually see that something's there. Yeah, I want to have clarity about that. What's happening? I don't feel anything. Yeah, I had this moment just now where, while I was making love with Vincent, and I had these red flashes in front of my eyes. Yeah, I interpreted it as if it's related to my womb and something's not right. I saw this deep, bright red color, and it made me think of blood. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, we went to get an ultrasound today. And the first thing we saw was that there was just nothing there. It was just a black hole on the screen. And she showed me that there was this amniotic sac, but she couldn't find anything in it, so she checked me vaginally. But there was nothing there. Nothing. And she told me that the fruit probably died quite a while ago, and that's why we couldn't see it anymore. But it seems like my amniotic sac is still growing. And my body just didn't recognize yet that the pregnancy stopped. And the moment that my body will release it, it still has to come. So there's this strange sense of being at peace with it. And at the same time, I'm in pain. Like, I notice my body has landed in a field of intense pain. I can't really describe what it feels like. It's in all my cells. It's a weird combination of, like, I do connect with this trust in life, and that it will bring me what I need, and that it knows what to do, something like that. And at the same time, I feel this pain. And I know that I want to move through it. And I want to trust that there is something on the other side of that pain. I went to see an acupuncturist today, and it was really sweet to be with her. I felt really comfortable and at ease. Yeah, it was so nourishing to receive support, to be heard. And I feel very calm and grounded and also extremely tired now. She said that my body is in a winter mode. And she tried to bring some energy in it. Yeah, when I left, she said that she wanted me to take good care of this energy and take care of my heart. I really want to remember those words. I feel so guilty. I'm in France and we have been driving all day. And I know it's so exhausting for me. It's just one day after the acupuncturist session and already I'm not taking care of my energy. And I was just broken when I arrived and I went to say hi to everyone, but actually I just wanted to sleep. And I feel like I'm going against the stream, like I'm going against my flow, my natural flow. And yeah, again, I feel guilty. We're going out with the family today. And I'm looking forward to be outside in the fresh air. Makes me feel clean and light. I can't tolerate people close by. It feels so overwhelming. And I'm exhausted and yeah, I'm still pregnant. I'm tired from the pregnancy. But nobody knows and no one speaks about it. It's really confusing. It's so difficult. I feel a bit locked up in this situation, like suffocated. I just want to sleep. I just want to be in my bed. Yeah, I was waiting for the gynecologist to call me. I waited for it all week and I had a very poor reception and I was so afraid that I would miss the call. And then I received a voicemail message that I indeed missed the call. And I felt this huge rage instantly coming up. And I was screaming and crying and I wanted to throw my phone away and hit something. Yeah, I so badly wanted to be held and my grief to end. And there was this intense sadness, loneliness. And then luckily she called me again. It was a big relief and the connection stayed and she explained to me the medical possibilities. And I told her that I want to wait until my body understands that the pregnancy is ended and kind of let nature do the work. And she listened to me and I really feel heard and understood. And I feel very relieved also that I expressed what is important for me, that at the same time the reality of my empty womb is kicking in, and I feel so much rage, so much anger. I have so much anger in my body. It's just, my body is just on fire. Like, I'm angry with everything and everyone. I just want to beat up the world. And I'm really tired, but I can't sleep because this anger is just raging through my body, and I feel miserable. I can't really calm myself down. And my throat is kind of painful from the screaming. Yeah, I just don't know how I'm ever going to be able to sleep. Today I'm so angry again, like so angry so quickly, as if this fire is, like this flame is on all the time, and only the tiniest thing has to happen and I'm angry and the fire is just lighting up, and after that I feel so sad. And I'm crying all the time, and I have this feeling like this panic attack like breathing, short breath, and I realize that I'm really in a difficult place. It makes me think of depression, even though I feel trust that this is temporary. And in the afternoon, the tiredness kicked in like a bomb, and I just feel like I have to get out of here, wherever I am, and rest now. Yeah, I have that feeling every time that the tiredness kicks in. I just want to go. I just want to be alone and rest. I feel calmer inside today. I wonder if the anger that I experienced was triggered by the moksha. Yeah, I've stopped doing that for a day now, and it seems to be helping. But maybe it was the swimming in the pool, I don't know. I dreamed very nice dreams last night, and it's nice compared to the intense dreams of the first days. I really feel a bit calmer. I felt something moving in my belly. It feels like my first pregnancy, as if there's a small creature inside of me. It's so confusing. So confusing. Yeah, and I had this vision that I realized that my creativity is really my ally on this journey. Like, while I'm writing, I'm thinking of a script for a documentary about this experience. It really supports me to be able to navigate this process with my creativity. And now that I realize that, now that I know that, I feel more still and calm. Yeah, hallelujah for this creative energy in me that will not fail me. I feel so much trust in that part of me. My creativity is really my ally. I feel lighter today. I had a really nice, happy, colorful dreams. Something about a market with homemade things. I also had a dream about blood and a doctor in a bloody apron. I've had dreams about blood every day. Yeah, there's more energy today. I even did yoga in the morning. I still have a lot of anger in my body. Yeah, it came out this morning and I didn't want to project it, but it's so tricky. So I went out of the bed and I took a shower to kind of cool and calm myself down. And then when I was back in the bed, the intense sadness came up and I cried. And then I fell asleep again and I dreamed about a huge fight with my family. What is it that life wants to say with this? I sometimes wonder. Is there a meaning behind what I'm going through? Is there a lesson, insight, a path? I really wonder. Yeah, I feel extremely tired today. I really don't know how to get out of my bed. I took a nap twice. But at the same time, there's no anger, no sadness. And I even have ideas for new projects. And I was able to enjoy nature and the colors today during my walk. Yeah, I'm slowly seeing the colors again instead of the emptiness. I think it's the best day so far after the ultrasound. No crying, no anger. Yeah, I feel calm and empty, and my mind sketches creative ideas. Yeah, I even have a sense of joy. I had a really strange night, as if I didn't sleep at all, but I feel calm, not even that exhausted. I wonder where to go from here. I landed in this state of being instead of doing. I would prefer to stay here. And also I have this fear that it's not enough. The fear that I will not be able to stay calm in this when we leave France. I'm wearing cheerful colors. It fits with how I feel. I want to be light and happy, and it's like setting an intention with my clothing. Yeah, I had this group call today, and I decided to share my experience. And it's so healing for me to share in front of a group of people. Like in my imagination, they were holding empathic space for me, and I didn't share to receive empathy. I just wanted to get more clarity around the choice I have in this situation and making this experience meaningful somehow. And after the call, I now feel really strong and soft and inspired and connected to what is important for me and to my inner wisdom, and some kind of understanding that trusting nature is the only way, and that the purpose might not be clear, but it will come to me. Yeah, I feel closer to my center, closer to myself. I'm in the forest and I feel so calm. Yeah, I know that nature knows what has to happen. I have a lot of trust in my body, and I have a lot of trust in life. I trust nature. And the forest has this certain energy today that tells me, yeah, you can trust. And also tells me, come back to me. It's like a vision quest. I will go back tomorrow. I'm alone in the forest. I feel liberated. I don't know from what. The connection with Vincent is challenging right now. I have the idea that I need to be around women. I feel carried by my friends and supported, even from a distance. Oh, I feel so uncomfortable. This taboo to speak about it. I want to speak about it, or at least I want there to be openness for it to be welcome when I want to. And for people to be comfortable speaking about those subjects. I want to be able to feel depressed and look depressed and walk away when I need space and not having to explain. I don't want pity. I don't need sympathy. I just want to be. Just live what is actually moving in me, not thinking about whether might people see it on the outside. This is just me now. Yeah, I have more clarity about what's important for me. And I believe nature has a path, and in order to have the experience that I'm supposed to have, in order to heal and liberate myself, I have to walk that path. If I take a shortcut, I cannot know what nature has in store, and I might skip something very important. My body feels much softer today, and my heart is open. The words missed abortion, they don't resonate with me. Abortion sounds like choosing to have an abortion. Well, it's actually about a miscarriage in 2 steps instead of 1. I don't know how to call this. I want to give it a different name. I cried a lot last night. It was another layer. A realization of what's not coming. Like that there's no baby coming. And about that's not fully integrated yet. A judgment about myself that I didn't digest it yet, I didn't process it yet. And then also a sadness about having that judgment. Well, today I feel really happy that we told Vincent's children. I had this clarity this morning that I want to be open and transparent about what's going on in me, and so that I can be fully myself, and something like also giving them the opportunity to be with it with me, and that we show them that such things are part of life and that those things often go unnoticed. I don't want this to be something to go unnoticed. Yeah, my tiredness, it seems to slowly move away from me. It's a weird feeling, as if the pregnancy is really slowly disappearing from my body. And every now and then I have a tiny bit of brownish slime in my underwear, and I don't know if it's related to my uterus. There is a little concern in me that old blood has accumulated inside. Something that I normally wouldn't worry about. Last night I was bleeding. I thought it had started, but it stopped. And today I went to this foot reflexology lady. It was nice to feel support, and I also understood more about the importance of this process. The waiting for the body to release by itself is an important part of the process. Yeah, we spoke about the cold in my body and that a baby cannot nest in a cold womb, that the nest should be nice and warm. I was bleeding again last night. When I was in my bed, I felt my uterus contract. It didn't hurt. It reminded me of my pregnancy and the birth. It also reminded me of a heartbeat, the heartbeat of my uterus. It was difficult to fall asleep. I wanted to stay present with it. And this morning the bleeding stopped again. I called a friend today and I found out that he had been through the same thing with his girlfriend almost at the same moment. It was supportive to hear that, and also to hear her experience, and that the process took her 2 weeks and it was very gentle and slow. And when I came back from the park, I had more blood, and it was more bright red. There's more blood today, and I have these headaches. I'm very tired. It's a difficult day. Yeah, it feels like a survival. I have a clear head though. I'm quite grateful for the process, the experience of it, and how I can make it meaningful. I'm super tired. I just want to stay in bed. I feel very emotional. It's a bit like the first day of a period. I'm bleeding a little bit more, but still very gentle. It's not painful. And I just want to surrender to however long it's going to take. I feel extremely tired today. And there was this little piece in my blood, like a structure that I haven't seen before, about 3 centimeters long. It looks a bit like a kind of red, soft rubber. And I have this huge urge to clean up. My house is empty and tidy and clean. As if cleaning my body and my house are a necessary parallel process to renew myself in all areas at once. Yeah, I feel more energized today. I did yoga and cleaning, and I shared my story with some people. There were a bit larger pieces of tissue coming out today. No pain, just a little bit of sharpness in my uterus sometimes. And I connect with my womb. I feel that my body is surrendering to the process, just letting it take place slowly. It feels like my womb is kind of getting cleaner, but it's definitely not at the end yet. Yeah, I like to leave that up to my body. There are bigger pieces coming out today, and I feel just extremely tired. And I realize that it's time to dive in even further and more and deeper layers. And when I share with people now, I notice that I can sink even deeper into this place of surrender, and I understand that complete relaxation is required to become completely clean inside. My uterus is in a lot more pain tonight. It's as if she's saying, take it easy. Tomorrow is time for you. I want to answer to that call. Tomorrow I will have a day for myself. I've been in bed for 2 hours, but I can't sleep because there's just so much pain. It's like a really, really heavy period. And I'm just sighing myself through it, and I finally found the courage to go to the bathroom. And when I'm on the toilet, it doesn't make much difference. Maybe it's gotten worse because I danced tonight after dinner. I danced through the living room. I think it may have got things started. It was 10 p.m. in the evening when I started to get more pain in my womb. It was kind of a stabbing feeling, and later contractions that after an hour or two they became unbearable. And then blood began to flow out in big blood clots. And with every contraction, there was this wave of clots and blood, and I could feel myself becoming weaker and dizzy, and I could barely stand up. I was sweating, feeling warm, cold, warm, cold. And I called the midwife to ask when I should alarm her. And she said, well, just, this seems to be normal, so maybe we can wait for a while to see what's happening. But the pain got worse and worse, and I lost more and more blood, and I became more dizzy, and I decided to call my mom to ask if she wanted to come. And when my mom was finally there, I felt more dizzy, and at a certain moment I was sitting on the toilet and I lost my consciousness. I had these crazy images behind my closed eyes. Yeah, it was very intense. And I woke up all of a sudden and I didn't remember if my mother spoke to me or how long it took. I don't know. I called the midwife again, and this time she came and she looked at me, and yeah, she saw that I wasn't doing so well. And my blood pressure was extremely low and my heart rate was really high. And my face was white and I was dizzy when I was sitting up or when I was standing up. So she called the ambulance. The guys of the ambulance were really friendly. That was comforting for me. One of the guys said, "Oh, you can do it. You can walk to the ambulance. You can do more than you think." But when I was standing on my legs for 2 seconds, I passed out and arrived on the same kind of scary place where I saw those images in front of my closed eyes again. And when I woke up, they said, "Oh, you were gone. You were gone. You cannot walk downstairs." But while I was sitting up, I felt better, so I said I wanted to try shuffle down on my buttocks from the staircase to the ambulance. And that's what I did. It was a bit of a crazy experience to be in the ambulance because I was really weak, and at the same time it was kind of exciting to be in an ambulance somehow once in my life. And I don't know, I'm guessing it was the adrenaline. When I arrived in the hospital, I ended up being in a really cold room with a lady, a gynecologist, who treated me quite harshly. The IV didn't fit properly, and she put a lot of pressure on the IV. It was very painful, and I pointed that out to her several times. It was almost unbearable, but she continued. And then she put a duck bill in my vagina, with which she also pressed quite hard against my cervix, which was unbearable to me. And also here I indicated several times that it was unbearable until the moment she really didn't stop, and I had the idea that I was gonna pass out again because my body wasn't able to handle it. So I screamed, like, "Now you have to stop. This is really the limit." And then she stopped. There was an assistant doctor in training who then removed my IV on the left, my old IV, and she did that in a very gentle way, and I said thank you for her gentleness and her care, and that she communicated with me what she was going to do. Yeah, she understood my message a bit and said, yeah, not everybody is gentle, but from this place I also learn how I don't want to do it. And after this experience, I was transferred to another room where a very cheerful male nurse received me, welcomed me. He was joking, and I was relieved to be received by such a gentle person. And actually all the people who have been at my bedside afterwards pharmacists, anesthetists, nurses, doctors, they were all very gentle. That was a good feeling. We discussed what we were going to do with the gynecologist, and he indicated that we could still wait to see what my body would do, but that if the contractions would start again, there was a big chance I would lose a lot of blood and that my body would not be able to handle that. And if that were to happen, then I would have to have an emergency curettage to save my life. And then there was another option to take a pill that would bring the contractions in motion and also increase the risk of more bleeding. And another option was to wait and to do the curettage now. And even though I really want my body to resolve things naturally, I felt that my body was exhausted. There was so little energy left in me, and I didn't want to put it on my body to ask any more of her. So I said I wanted a curettage now. I didn't want to take the risk of my body being beaten, knockout, as if in a boxing ring, due to even more blood loss. Once I arrived at the surgery department, I had to wait for my turn, and luckily that wasn't for long. I noticed that I had developed a little fear of the anesthesia because of the unpleasant experience of my unconsciousness and the scary world I ended up in. And I expressed it to several people in the hospital, and it helped me to trust that this was a different process and that the moment I passed out was really a scream from my body that probably manifested itself in my subconsciousness as well, but that this anesthesia was going to be a very gentle process that, with the intention to reassure my body. And that gave me trust. And when I was in the surgery room and the anesthesia was done or going to be done, and when I was in the operation room, I saw the doctor with his kind eyes and all the people who came to say hello. And there were many people in the room, and I experienced the soft energy and warm voices, and everybody looked me in the eye. I had a sense they were really there for me. It felt reassuring, that I was in good care. I fell asleep with thoughts about our trip to New Zealand, with relaxation in my body. When I came out of anesthesia, I felt like I had been gone only for 2 seconds. Suddenly I was in this waking up hall, and I immediately felt in my body that a certain calm had returned. And I made contact with my uterus, and my uterus was actually quite calm, resting. I also felt a kind of relief and, softness. So without talking to the doctor, it actually felt really good what had been done. That it was necessary, that my body needed help. My blood pressure was still very low, and at some point it went down again. I felt I was sinking, slipping away, getting weaker. And then when my blood pressure was more stable, I was picked up again by a nurse to go to a room to recover. And now I'm in this room and I still feel heavy. My body is heavy. It needs rest. All layers of my body need rest. Yeah, it's actually what my uterus already indicated yesterday, that it had been enough. We tried it on our own and it was important to ask for help now. And also now to rest, not only from the physical experience, but from the pain I have endured, from the unconsciousness and what I saw behind my closed eyes. So now slowly my blood pressure goes a bit up and sometimes it stops again. Same for my body temperature. Kind of these warm colds. I can walk to the toilet by myself again, and I just looked in a mirror. I looked myself in the eyes and I knew, like, I'm gonna get out of this more beautiful and more powerful. Yeah, and I'm going home after dinner. I'm very grateful for the support today from all the people in the hospital and friends and family. And also for myself for asking for this support. I woke up this morning with this popping headache, like pulsing and whooshing head. I cannot really move. My body just wants to rest. Walking is very challenging. Yeah. I have to surrender to the care of others. Really surrender. It feels like my head has taken a massive hit. I woke up this morning and immediately I felt better than yesterday. I think nutrition and rest probably helped me to strengthen. I feel a deep sadness that I really want to go home. I want to be in my own space. Yeah, and I really also don't know how much recovery, time, and healing this experience needs. Yeah, and what did I get out of this? I do have a strong sense now of when there is a real emergency, like when I felt now how it is when death is close by. And I'm letting that experience sink in slowly. But I first really want to just rest, like completely be well rested after so many weeks of tiredness. I also experience a certain void, like what now after this intensity? how to move forward from intense depths and chaos and point zero, like where to go. I have this idea like I have to set course all over again. Like what is important to me now? What do I want to be in this world? What new layer of consciousness have I actually sinking into? What does it mean for my life, for my choices? I still feel occasional stabbing pain in my lower belly, and I'm losing blood. And I'm really not sure like if this is all normal or I do feel stronger though. So I'm guessing I don't lose a lot of blood. But yeah, last week I also felt very energized the hours before it started, and I had no idea I was bleeding inside. So how do I know now? Yeah, and to need someone else to take care of me and not being at home, it takes up a lot of space in me. Like I'm struggling staying relaxed in this environment where I'm now. I want to be in my own environment again, surrounded by people I love to take care of me. Really counting down the hours to go home. I want to be able to be with what this actually does to me, like not being occupied by the struggles of being in a place I don't want to be in. I so look forward to having the freedom and energy again and stillness in myself to feel, to connect to myself. I can't sleep. It's really warm and I just don't trust that my body can handle this. What will happen when I close my eyes? The dark scares me. Yeah, during the day I didn't feel this fear. I'm also trying to figure out where this fear comes from. I have those thoughts that I cannot close my eyes because when I die, Pepijn is alone and Vincent is far away. But this fear and panic, it feels like it's not mine. I can't feel. I can't quite feel how I am really doing. I really have to get out of here. I'm home. Wow, I feel so relieved to be in my own environment. Peaceful. Yeah, I feel like this weight has fallen off my shoulders. There's a relief, like I can breathe deeply, and there's a joy of being with Pepijn again. Yeah, as if I can finally start healing, processing, becoming stronger, recovering, transforming. Yeah, because I'm sure that I will come out of this more beautiful and more powerful. I felt that day in the hospital. Wow, I'm so happy to be home. Like I feel completely in touch with myself again. I have a sense it's speeding up my recovery. That's what it feels like. I know somehow that I'm a long way from being back to my natural energy level, but I feel excited about things again. I enjoy the day. I love myself. I know that now. I feel good with myself. I love myself first and foremost. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I have this euphoric feeling all day. I love life. I love life. I actively asked for help. And it is something that I've never done before, and it feels so good to receive friends that come and support me. And wow, it's overwhelming, the response to my request. And it's so nourishing to be surrounded every now and then with warmth and understanding and inspiration and care and unconditional presence. I was really craving that in the last few days. Yeah, there's nothing in me that's worried that I have to give back. I just really receive it as, yeah, I'm here for you. Yeah, it really touches me. My creativity is bursting. I have more energy again today, and I have so many ideas. And I think I'm more confident about my ideas being valuable, being meaningful. And yeah, it's a great feeling. It's, yeah, it's for me, it is a sign of aliveness. I'm feeling very heavy today. I have those thoughts about like who's going to save me? Who's going to save me? And flashbacks of the evening where I'm asking myself when someone is going to do something. And only when the ambulance people arrived I knew I would survive. But also only in that moment I understood I needed to be saved. And all of a sudden I didn't understand why those other people didn't try to save me. Who saves me when I can't save myself? How do I know? Yeah, Vincent's presence helps me to ground myself. I feel safe when he holds me. He's here now. If something happens, he will save me. Can I accept that I cannot always save myself? Can I accept that sometimes I actually have no choice but to surrender to the help of others? Can I rest in someone's arms feeling completely safe? Knowing that this person is guarding for me? That I can let down my guards, that I can really relax? Is that possible? Today I went to the doctor to check my blood, and it was a huge trip for me. Like, it felt like I needed to travel to the other side of the world. Yeah, I realized that I'm still very vulnerable, and I want to hold myself in this vulnerability. I want to have patience with my body and with my processing of this experience. I want to be gentle and soft and take endless time to heal. I called a colleague today, and while she was asking me about my experience, I realized that I have crying to do. And I have a feeling of loneliness on this path. Loneliness in this experience. My belly feels really calm today, and my body doesn't feel pregnant anymore. It's calm and empty. It feels somehow like there's space in me to recharge. As if I need to cry first to make space to then recharge. I cannot do it at the same time. There's some light pink stains now in my underwear, and somehow I see it as a parallel on like my water getting cleaner and my water is getting cleaner, moving from red to light pink. Also at the same time, maybe I am processing, making my mind cleaner and my heart cleaner. It's like a metaphor for the process. I'm feeling a deeper layer of sadness today. And I realize that somewhere in my mind, we're still gonna have a new family member. And there's this realization now that it's actually not gonna happen. Not now. And that I already started loving that being. And still, that was already my child that I loved unconditionally and love. So the stains are yellow now, and I'm wondering how long this emotional processing will take. I noticed that my head is not able to do a lot. Like even searching on the internet for some kitchen stuff is too much, and my email doesn't work for 1 second and I'm already upset. I cannot handle so much. I wonder if this will ever go away. Maybe I'm burned out, or maybe I'm just not recovered yet. Did I underestimate this? Will I ever be able to function normally? I cried a lot. I cry a lot. Maybe it will clean up. When I lean into Vincent, I can soften a bit. It helps when I am allowed, welcomed to cry. It's 1 month after the moment in the hospital, and it's also the first day of my cycle. There's a certain relief that my body is balanced again. Yeah, that it's picking up the natural pace. Today I have really intense bleeding, much more than I'm used to. My body is struggling, and I'm happy that Vincent is here. Now that I bleed so intensely, yeah, if something goes wrong, I'm not alone. The bleeding is very intense. I'm on the toilet every hour. Yeah, it makes me think of that night. So today I went for a walk, and halfway I really didn't feel well. I felt really weak, and I realized that I'm not really back in my old energy. My head wants to, but my body's not there yet. I'm not feeling well today. Very shaky, and I don't have a lot of energy. And there's this fear that I lost too much blood again with my cycle. I'm feeling very sad that I have such low energy, and I'm afraid to get sick. And my resistance level is very low. The bleeding stopped, so my body seems to be cleaned up. I feel very tired, but I do feel a relief that it stopped. I called a friend today, and she laughed at me when I said that I lost 2 liters of blood. Like, she didn't believe me, and it was so painful. I want to be seen for what I experienced. It's my birthday today, and my energy is very low to do something active. I'm contemplating about life and how I can give this past year meaning. After a walk, I started bleeding again, and there were like stains on my clothes, and yeah, I have this fear that it starts again. I have a phone call with Vincent, and I feel really heard and seen and understood. That's what I really want for myself. That's what I want in my life. People that support me and listen to me, where I can be received with warmth and lean into. Yeah, I didn't bleed today. It was quite a good day. I didn't do a lot. I'm trying really to surrender to the pace of my body. My body feels calm and empty, peaceful, cleaned up. And I have those thoughts about death hanging around in my home. So I clean my house, and it feels really good, like to clean little corners. Yeah, kind of like to clean my house from this experience, to bring life in it, to bring light and love. Yeah, myself, to bring myself. The bleeding stopped completely, and I feel a bit more energy today. I'm taking good care of myself, feeling creative, looking forward to share my story in a creative way. So I realize that I'm full of energy, and I feel really strong physically and also emotionally balanced and centered, and yeah, alive. There's energy moving through my body again. Today I had a moment with Vincent to share with each other our experiences, and we shared the pain and the sadness that is alive in us, in me, and we had this idea for closing with the ceremony, to use this time to release the last pieces of sadness and stuff that wants to be attended. And I realized that this experience actually made me trust life more. And I have this deep trust that life knows, a sense of wisdom in my body, not able to describe in words. Yeah, today in another conversation with Vincent, I discovered that I still have some pain around my midwife, that she didn't come the first time that I called her. So I decided to call and to make an appointment to express this pain and to be heard and to give feedback about my experience and the impact that this choice had on me. I realize now that even though I cleaned up this experience, it will never leave me. It has changed me forever. Like a book on my shelf that will be there always. And it gave me a different, like a deeper understanding of life. It made me more humble to life. It brought me to the depths of the ocean of life, like another dimension. yeah, I don't think I will ever be able to stay on the surface. It also connected me to my power. I know what I want and I do it and I ask for it, nothing less. Yeah, it changed me forever. I'm crying a lot about, yeah, mourning about the person I will not be again. And yeah, there's also a celebration in me, a relief. When I was depressed, when I was young, I was unaware of the dark place that I was in and unable to be with it. And in the last few years, I had a strange type of hunger to go to that place again. But this time I wanted to go with awareness, with my eyes open, facing myself, facing my anger. I am deeply grateful for the experience life has given me the last year that brought me to those dark, deep places. And I was there with awareness, facing all of me, facing all of life and death, with my eyes open, being fully present with every step that I was taking in the process. It woke up every last cell in my body that was not included yet. I'm alive. I have a vision of a world where every person who experiences pregnancy loss is being received with unconditional care, with respect for their body, their natural pace, their values, their needs, and their longings. A world where medical professionals act from trauma awareness and human connection, and where intuition and instinct are integrated into our universal perception of intelligence. Where pregnancy loss is being acknowledged for the overwhelming experience it can be, and where recovery is being honored and held in a place of safety and rest. Where all of us live in a community where we support each other's recovery, both physically, mentally, and emotionally. Where we can ask for help with the freedom of a child. Where we can speak freely about pregnancy and the early end of pregnancy. Where we can share our stories and the impact of our experiences in a place of trust and understanding, honoring ourselves and honoring life. Woo! So fine. So fine. Oh.